This is grandma's mom. It resonates a lot better than.
Let's take these shots.
This is your you act like your great grandma. It's like, who's great grandma? That was your grandma's mom. And then it ends there.
It does, bro. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
That's all I'm saying. Like
It's
very important to have proof, because if you don't have, you want some of this? I'll leave it for you. If you don't have that hard copy,
I'm already in with no.
We already in. We deep.
You know
we
what
knee
I'm
deep
saying?
in this motherfucker, man.
I don't chase hoes. I don't
that's
chase
all I'm
strings.
saying.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why, like, every trip I print pictures off and I stuff them in a shoebox. So when I'm dead and gone, generations down the road, my great grandkids will have somebody. They'll be able to be like, boy, you like to cook. Your great granddaddy love to cook, and they got pictures of me on the grill, kicking it. You know what I'm saying? It's like. At least for me, I'm just speaking for me.
It does add to it.
I take pictures of my grandma, even when like my mama shows me pictures of my grandma. Like I said, I don't know anybody past my grandma, but when my mom shows me pictures of my grandma, I take pictures of those pictures and I print them out. So when Ariella and Callie get older, this is your great great grandma. You never met her, but this is where I got a lot of my morals and values from. This person. This person was the anchor of the family. When she left, this is why the family split this way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just tangible. It's just something to hold on to. But that's just me.
No, yeah, I agree.
Oh fuck! Where my mustard at?
Your mustard.
Yeah, it's on that floor.
Got you, homie. You on video right now showing them how you give it up.
Hey, bro, listen.
This is your mustard. This is your mustard.
It tastes like wood chips, so I gotta take the shot with mustard because it cleans my palate immediately.
Right.
This shit is disgusting.
It's easy.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's easy.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Let's get after it. This is my brother Sean. He's a real one.
Oh yeah,
I gotta get him on camera.
with the mustard chaser.
The only nigga I know that's ever used mustard as a chaser.
We playing music in the background low or no?
We can't, man. You know how YouTube
Talking
get
about
us.
super low.
YouTube.
You can't
don't
put
play.
on rights to
No,
these music?
I had some shit with Drake in the background. Them boys came
What about
through and
instrumentals?
canceled that shit. Hell
Yeah,
no.
they gotta make their money.
They making their money right now. They will find that shit through the video.
Alright.
Fuck you up.
You can't be messing with that royalty checks.
Hell no.
I
You,
ain't
you know what you can do? You can freestyle. You can freestyle the song. And, like you can say the lyrics to a song.
But I can't play the music.
No,
can't.
no.
So I'm going.
So what I thought was dope was like before I start every episode.
What about music my brother made?
You can.
That's
That's his
probably
music.
get away with
That's
it.
his music.
You can probably get away with it.
As long as that he ain't infringing on nobody
He
else.
don't give a, yeah, he just happy to have his music playing.
No, I'm saying as long as his music ain't infringing on somebody else, like
No,
if you
Yeah, like
sample,
if he ain't sampling like the
Nah.
Isley Brothers or some shit.
he go into his shit and just
no.
say
It's a risk. It's a risk.
All right, all right.
But fuck it. I mean,
No, I don't.
you
I
live
don't.
once. Shit.
I don't want your shit to not get posted because of music.
Right. You straight. You straight with me.
Yeah, I ain't got no beats for me. But yeah, nah, we good. We
All right,
good.
bet.
I got some beats. It's just,
These yo beats. All right, we can play yo beats.
Bet.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what I want.
The
though.
music
Like,
in the
eventually-
background, the low music, it just sets.
Yeah,
it just
that's
sets
what I'm
the-
saying. Eventually, like I want to get to a point where I have like someone who's dope, who's not necessarily like under a label or some shit, and they can like have
What if-
their shit just rocking.
What if I call them on speaker and let them be like, let it hear, like, oh, nah, it's cool, you can play my shit.
I don't even know how the rules work, bro.
Alright, fuck
That's the same. We like we were talking about.
you can
earlier.
play it. He ain't the one that's gonna be chasing for the money.
Right, like
But
we-
he, go ahead.
like we was talking about earlier, like we just learned this game. Like we don't.
So you want me to
the
play
rule-
it or
there's so many
no?
rules.
I ain't tripping.
I don't know the rules. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
I-
fuck it.
Listen to this beats, he be fine.
All right.
Yeah,
It don't
I
sound
hope
like he.
so. Yeah, I want.
Maybe on the sample beat, I don't know how much of the sample or the real song it sound like.
Right.
Because it's like only so many bars you can copy off before you gotta make it your own.
So yeah,
No.
no. It'll be super
Sir,
low. It
sir.
probably won't even pick it up. Music.
It'll be fine.
I'm talking about like super low. Why did the speaker die?
Probably did. You gotta plug it up.
Yeah, it's
We
right
just-
there.
We just making content right now, man. We
Nah, fuck it, I'll leave it on the phone. You good? You good? I'll leave it on the phone. To where it's super low. It's just something in the background. You good, bro?
Where the plug at?
That's it. In the wall.
saying I don't even see the outlet for
It's on the back of the speaker.
Yeah, everywhere I've been, but
This jacket is heated, bro. This is one of the most fire jackets I've ever had.
hey, it's plugged up.
You turn it on? You gotta hold the power button.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Yep, blue light on.
Yep, we in there.
Bad.
Shit, you can even tag one nigga and be like, tag.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what this is about. This is collab. Like everything I'm doing is collab based.
It might not even pick it up.
Me sitting in front of a camera talking for fucking hours every day ain't gonna hit it. You know, I need different people to come in and say they own shit on some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, shit.
I know we was getting deep in the J. Cole world and like everything that got to do with police brutality. How is that affecting y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you affected by the rise in police brutality?
I guess at this point, with all the information out here, I guess I kind of numb to a lot of stuff.
Numb
In the sense where it's kind of like
Desensitized.
You sensitized.
Yeah, I can agree.
Desensitized. It ain't
So
even
like
numb.
when you see a new black person killed, that shit don't do nothing to you anymore.
I won't say it wouldn't do anything to me. It's more of a understanding of what's happening. Just looking at it at a bigger scale, like there's so many pieces at work. You just realize what happens. We get outraged, we do the protesting.
Just shows the cycle, bro.
And then it's cool with the protests because like, as long as you protest, ain't nothing getting moved.
They don't give a fuck about protests.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
Stand outside in the cold, in the rain and shit. And
the only time they get upset is when you start damaging their property. Like you damage some property, like you just get a whole human being.
Right.
Now damaging property, we got some problems. We need to get the National Guard. We can get some people out here.
Right. They quick to hit the National Guard. Like, yo.
All right, they doing something we care about, some property.
You comfortable standing outside this building structure that don't support your skin color? That's a real question.
It just goes back, bro. It just goes back deeper than that, bro. When the Constitution was written, when the Constitution was written, it was written by people. It was written by white men, obviously. And when it was written, black people weren't considered people at that time. So they completely disregarded and or bypassed anything that had to do with us. So the world is governed off of a book of rules that has nothing to do with black people. We only got like fucking two rules for us, and one's like if you're born in America, you're not a slave, and the other one there's like two. It's like there's like two things that relate to us, but it's bullshit. It's nothing for us. It's just something that finally incorporated us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I got the rule book for this game, but it doesn't include these people. But y'all can still play the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's never going to be in your favor. You're never going to win this game because when we made these rules, it had nothing to do with you.
So so it's 2021 right now. So what are the residual effects of us never being fully incorporated in the rule book?
What are the
what residual effects are you feeling from
me personally? I feel like at this point in 2021, all the information that we need is right here at our fingertips on our phones.
Right.
And with that being said, we are finally, I ain't gonna say we're finally, but this generation of people are at the point now where they're spitting this knowledge and like, yo, listen to this, read this book, study this author, watch this documentary, you know what I'm saying? So like the information to break the chains are there. It's a lot more accessible than it was back in the day, you know what I'm saying? So
what are we doing with the information though? Are we making a positive change?
Yeah, hell yeah. I think we're moving forward. I think we're definitely moving forward.
Okay.
But it all depends on the individual. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, like when you growing up, when you're being raised, your parents will tell you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And us just going through life, we either take heed to it or we rebel against it and we still do our own shit just to find out the shit that our parents were saying was right from jump. But we were going through our own life. So we wanted to go, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to maneuver how we wanted to maneuver.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But some people take the shit like let's take stocks for example. I'm in this group on Clubhouse. Mm-hmm. This stock group. This kid is 15 years old. 15, bro. And he has several $1,000s in stock at 15. You know what I'm saying? His parents is teaching him the right way, and he listened to his parents. You know what I'm saying? He's very well off as a 15-year-old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 29. I'm just now getting into stocks.
That's what I'm saying.
But my people didn't teach me that. It took my people, not my parents, but like my people, to teach me, hey, look, this is the move, bro. People been doing this for years, and now we can do it. There's nothing saying we can't do it.
Right. But we're playing catch up, essentially.
Definitely playing catch up.
And it's not fair. You know, I don't know if if fair is what will ever come from this, because we're already starting off on an unequal playing field.
We're starting off at the go ahead. Go ahead.
What were you about to think?
Well, I add this about fair. I think the fight for like equality and stuff like that. To be honest, it's a race. It's called a race for a reason.
Yeah.
Like not just.
That's what I'm saying.
Words have meaning. And I think we throw words out there. We don't really understand the meaning. If it's a race, it's a race. That means it's not about equality. You know what I mean? It's a real monopoly game out there.
Right.
More
I hear what
man
you're
you
saying.
own. So it's like you
I
out here
agree what
fighting
you're
for
saying.
equality. It's cool. You can protest and everything, but we already know what the bottom line really is, and I think it's just a maturity process. So
Definitely.
you have I always scale down something that you can understand. When you're growing up, as a child to a teen, the things you learn. When you get to your 20s, you start thinking you know some things. Then you mature more. It's like now scale that up on a bigger scale as far as a group of people and time frame. You talk about time as far as like we could say God's time or just the world time, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? As far as like as a people, we did this way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a Grand Canyon. It took time for that. Thousands of years to make the Grand Canyon, you know what I mean?
Right. People have already took off. Like, we was still at the starting line putting our shoes on, and people was already like 2 miles into the race.
But on that
You know
2 miles into the race, we finally closing that gap.
We're definitely closing.
We closing that gap, and if we just keep banding together and making shit happen and standing with our people and educating them, because it's all education.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's all education. So if you're uneducated or misinformed, you're gonna stay putting your shoes on and they done took off.
But how do you keep things from black people learning it?
How do you keep things?
Where do you put information at so that black people?
It's
don't
everywhere.
Learn? They put it.
I'll
in
tell you like
books.
this.
We gotta be fun. We gotta be.
It's in the
literate.
books. It's in the books, but at the same time, it's on our Snapchats.
Right.
It's on our Twitters. It's on our Instagrams.
TikToks.
It's on our Googles. It's on our Facebooks. It's just you, the individual, have to be willing to be receptive and do a little bit of due diligence to find this information.
Right.
It's there.
Right.
The information is there. It's not hidden. It's not in a fucking sacred vault. You know what I'm saying? If you want to learn about stocks, Google it. It's there.
Right.
If you want to learn about history or anything that sets you ahead of the next man, is there. But like I said, I talk about social media all the time, man. These algorithms, they learn you, they study you, and they keep funneling bullshit to keep you brain dead. You know what I'm saying? Like Instagram, you double tapping bad bitches all day. That's doing nothing for your mental. That's distracting you. But when you start following Wall Street Trapper, or you know what I'm saying, people that's really into this stock world, or people that's really into these businesses, or people that's really teach you how to get these loans and how to build these 401ks, it's there just as easy as it is to follow a bad bitch on Instagram and like her pictures. Right. But it's up to you to decide which one you're going to gravitate towards. And some people are weak-minded, and they don't have that initiative to do that due diligence to find this information because it's not as entertaining.
I got a question for you. So this is the height of Black Lives Matter, right? Why is it that we're still killing each other in this moment in time? Like, why are we still at feuds with one another? Why aren't we gathering our resources together so that we can be sustainable in the future? Why are we still tearing each other down right now?
Because of the shit that's being thrown down our throats every day.
Explain.
What do you turn to the radio right now? What do you hear?
Depends
You ain't hearing
rap.
You ain't hearing how to make money.
Right.
You're not hearing how to look out for your family. You're not hearing how to get an IRA. You're not hearing how to start a savings. You're not hearing how to do checks and balances. You hearing catchy beats. You hearing stealing, killing, robbing, jugging, finessing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what's mainstream, and it's a system. It's designed to keep you that way. You know what I'm saying? You think about it from a child. You remember shit, nursery rhymes. You remember A, B, C. It's very basic, but it's catchy. But you learn it, and it's repetitive. It's repetitive melodies. So that's what's going to keep going, and that's what you're going to remember. You know what I'm saying? So what that's how you keep the people occupied and blinded.
But how do we get? We're in this stage. We love the entertainment that we like.
Yep.
How are we going to make a transition from being divided to bringing ourselves together and conquering? How are we going to do that? Because right now, like, the music that's catchy, the music that's trendy is Ran Down the Block, Seen a Op.
Yeah.
What color skin is the Op typically? You know,
Yeah.
it's probably someone that looks just like us. So mentally, we're already training our minds as black men, as people who listen to rap music, to kind of visualize the enemy as someone who looks just like us, right?
That's why it's important.
So how do we? That's psychological. That's deep.
You're right, but that's why it's extremely important to be very involved in your children's lives.
Right.
And to be a very knowledgeable parent.
Right.
To have both parents, to have a strong support system, to have a strong foundation. If you ain't got a good foundation, the fucking house is going to crumble.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when the house crumble, you out trying to find it, you trying to make it work.
Right.
But if you got a strong foundation, your grandparents are good, your parents are good, you got something to fall back on and learn from. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and then everybody doesn't have that. Like, there's people that don't have that strong foundation, and it's easy to fall victim to the streets or fall victim to their friends and take the wrong way. But at the same time, life is about choices.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying? You gonna either choose to go out and kick it, go to the club from 10 to 2, or you gonna say, nah, bro, I gotta study. I gotta learn this knowledge.
Mhm.
So when I learn this, my sons and my daughters, I can instill this in them, so they don't fall back to the shit we're trying to avoid.
Mhm.
That's why I think it's very important to have, even if you don't have both parents, have a foundation. It don't even got to be your parents. It can
Right,
be
it takes a
uncles.
village.
Yeah, and that's super important. If you ain't got that, you already setting yourself further behind than the next man. You know what I'm saying?
You're a new father, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the foundations? And you can chime in on this too, because y'all both fathers. So this is a new day and age. This isn't the same era that we grew up in. So what are the foundations that you're trying to establish to teach a new person who's coming into the society that we have right now?
Well, I think something big for me. Don't just give your kid an iPad and give it to him and tell him and just put them in the corner, just to keep them occupied for an amount of time,
Yeah.
just so they can be quiet for a little bit. Like, you can YouTube is a wormhole, bro. You can start here. You can start on Boss Baby, and before you know it, you're watching Turtles fuck. Like,
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's made that way, bro. It's made that way. So it all goes back to just having a strong foundation and having parents. Like, instead of me giving you Boss Baby so you can start crying, stop crying. Let me give you this documentary. Let me put you on game because just like kids can learn things at 6 and 7, nursery rhymes and TV shows, kids ain't dumb, dude. My daughter's 6 years old, bro. My daughter's 6. We just left Florida. Everywhere we walked, everything we seen, bro, she was reading. Bro, this shit was weird. It was wild to me. She read everything she's seen. We'd be in Walmart, she's reading aisle numbers, she's reading things that's on the house. She's reading everything, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, we're doing a very good job teaching her, you know what I'm saying? Her school. That's very important too, to like research what institutions you're sending your children to.
Right. So you do believe you support censorship in some form, not subjecting your kids to everything that the world has to offer, kind of breaking it down to them in doses and prescriptions of some sort, you know, little by little until they're mature enough to get to the next step.
But you also gotta put them on game to the bullshit. Because if you don't teach it, somebody's gonna do it.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get to. This is 2021. Like, this is the age of the information era. So what you don't teach them, it don't matter what the fuck you teach your kid, because they're gonna learn it somewhere, somehow. They're gonna pick up some shit and it's gonna teach them some shit. So how do you combat that? Because your kid's gonna get to it either way. So how do you find a comfortable spot to deliver the information to them?
You just gotta be real with them, bro.
It comes down to personal power.
Yeah. You said personal power?
Personal power. I think personal power is the key. Working on yourself. Once you realize everything else is out of your control.
Right.
Your personal power. How sure you are in what you believe. Even to the ignorant. When somebody's ignorant of something, they believe it. Ignorance is bliss.
Yep.
They believe it so much that it's contagious to everybody else who believe in it.
Right.
So while you're sitting here trying to figure out, I think this is the right way, and though your intentions might be good, you're not sure in yourself.
Right.
So you have to have that. You have to be sure in what you believe. When they say stand on it and believe in what you believe, it's contagious.
Right. So confidence,
and
like teaching your kids confidence.
That, and another thing too.
Code of conduct.
You gotta also understand that as parents, you want to teach your kids nothing but the best. But you also gotta understand there's no handbook to being a parent. There's no right way to being a parent. Mm-hmm. So you have to be receptive of sometimes you might not be doing it the right way. You might think you are, but it's okay to, you know what I'm saying, talk to your mentor, talk to your advisor, talk to your counselor. You know, hey, I feel this way, this is what I'm thinking, this is how I'm moving about it. And if you really, you know what I'm saying, rock with your mentor and you really believe in it, you know what I'm saying, you look up to them, really look up to them, they can give you game, bro. Like there's no age where you have to stop learning.
And that's you just hinted at something. Mental health, like
yeah.
Black people, I think, as a society, we've been known to suck shit up, deal with things as they come, move on. There's a greater goal that we need to reach, and sitting here crying and complaining about something that's going on mentally, we don't have time for that. So right now, I think as we're starting to shorten the gap with the people who took off before us, we're starting to learn that mental health is just as important as that physical strength that we have. You can't question our physical strength, but that mental strength is what we got to keep constantly being taken care of, constantly being worked on. So I appreciate the fact that you support, you know, talking to somebody else who may have a better perspective than you.
Got to.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody don't know everything.
Yeah.
Cole says, sleeping on your level. There's a resilience Black people have.
Yeah, we got resilience for days.
Well, and that's what I mean.
We were taught to be resilient.
As far as
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
When you hear like what's that Kendrick song, "We Gonna Be Alright."
Oh yeah.
And the lyrics, like really thinking about that. You was people with butt naked, chained up with another person in a land you don't know where home is, and yet here we are.
Right.
So no matter how low it gets, how messed up it is, you gotta keep that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I think, for instance, as far as America and everything goes, I always try to scale things down, and then you scale it up. You get what I'm saying? So like, you scale it to look at your reflection on what you do yourself. Back to personal power. As far as what is your code of conduct? What do you live by? What is it based off? Is it based off how life works? Or is it based off of people's opinions? How other people feel? Just look around you. One of the questions I used to always wonder, so I grew up in church, what about the people who don't got the Bible?
What about the people who don't have the platform?
A Bible. Or
Bible. Exactly.
I used to wonder about that. Like, what about those people? They don't get a chance?
Yeah, how did they go to heaven if they never even knew that Jesus was ever a thing?
So when I was a kid, you know, at one of my ending points, I said a prayer. And I said, what about the people that don't know the Bible? Do they go to hell? And what I didn't realize what I was doing at that time was that was a genuine prayer. Not the prayer you get recited where you just repeat the words. I was genuinely asking myself internally, a real question. The universe puts it in perspective for you. Look around you. Like, it was just showing you how life is.
Right.
Without that book, whether you forget who you are, where you come from, whatever you've been through, you're going to be all right.
Right.
Yeah, all you got to do is look around you to see what's what. Everything else, all the extra details, all the stuff that get you, I call that all fluff.
Right.
You just learn, like, you tell me extra stuff. Get straight to the point.
And we were speaking about it earlier. If we were here before, your nature, your mental capacity almost spoke to as if we were here, because you were thinking about people who never even got the chance to receive the knowledge you received. So it's kind of like an intergalactic thing. Some stars are in an orbit and they were able to experience the sun. And the stars that were never in the orbit to see what the sun was never even knew what the sun was about. It's kind of the same type of mentality. It's like some people, when you were created, you were fortunate enough to be in the position you are today. And the other people who weren't fortunate, that's something that's out of all of our controls that we can't control.
And I also give you this one. There's anything you look at, you got to ask yourself, you can look at anything. You can decide it. You can look at anything and determine all the negative out of it. You can determine if it's good. You can take anything and see the good in it. You can take anything and see the bad in it. And that's all on your view.
Right.
So it's best for you to look at everything and try to see the best out of it.
Absolutely.
Because you have the power to create what's, if you don't understand your power, everything that's here has already been manifested. Somebody thought about it. A building, somebody envisioned it. We created everything that's here.
Right.
Understand your power. People don't understand that.
Right.
So whenever you got focused in on anything you wanted to achieve in your life, whatever, when you was young, dirty, when you was trying to work out and you was trying to, get in shape, do your thing, when you believe you was going to be doing that, everything started, you was doing that.
Right.
Other people who can't get on it, you like, I don't understand you. They don't believe it. They don't see it. They can't see it, so they can't manifest it in real life. You know what I mean? And you just realize your personal power and how much influence that really has.
Right. We hold the power to anything that we decide that we want to create. When I drive through different cities or even, wherever, I'm just looking around at all the roads and the paved highways and the buildings and the structures and
Paths.
the gutters, like to the finest detail. A human being set out to devise a plan to make something, and this is what he's created, and everything has been created from a mental manifestation, So
that's why I say when they say phones, everything, honestly, I think none of this stuff is new.
Right.
I say you can get so in tune with somebody where if you're real close to somebody, I can look at you and we can have a whole conversation, understand how we communicate without saying one word.
Right.
And I think about that, I said we're so detached from that because everything's external, because we're not in touch with internal as far as who we are. So what if we got on a point where we were so in tune, mastered yourself to where I can look at you and you know what time it is. You have those little moments and you realize like was you reading what I was saying?
Right.
I was like, it's a telephone. All that other stuff that's all the same stuff. And all we did was create it externally. So you ain't doing nothing spectacular, anything new. Mm-hmm. You're being in awe about everything outside of yourself. When you realize everything that you are, everything that you could have been, it's in you.
Right.
And because I think that's the biggest trick. They done tricked you out of who you are, what you're capable of, and they still this fake ego. You trying to express it, but just like a kid, I think like kids in a bad home.
Right.
They acting out. They doing crazy stuff. They stealing from their mama. They doing crazy stuff. They know their home is broken, mismanaged, ain't run right. If you ask them what they need, they gonna tell you everything that they really don't need because they don't know what right look like. You get what I'm saying?
And
that's how I feel like as a people, you've been torn down, broken down. So when they go, they take what you're saying, we need this, we need that, and then they turn around and make that a whole highlight and build on that versus like, that's not what we need. Don't get me wrong, what these people going through is real, but now you taking this and you pimping this out like we asking for some crazy stuff when that's probably not what we need. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And now you pimping that and painting us in the bad pictures. Like, how you gonna be the spokesperson for us? We messed up.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest game, I completely agree with you. The biggest game that the people who were in power did was put us in a position where we're working for survival. Most of the people that look like us are just working every day to put food on the table. We got kids, we got shit to do. Once you